What is up, ladies and gentlemen? As soon as we learn how to get the banner off here, there we are. What is up, fellas and ladies and everything in between? Pets are welcome to hell with it. We are Late Night with ECB. It's myself, Josh Burton, your host of Everything College Basketball, joined by my co-host and co-owner, Peyton. One day we're going to get Peyton a webcam, get this figured out. But guys, hey, look at the comments. Look at our buddy Johnny Stroud in the building tonight. Peyton, night one of college basketball. Shit's already gotten wild.
Yes, sir. It's night one, baby, and you have people complaining on Twitter like Rob Dowser, like, "Oh, I'm not excited for any of these games." Shut the fuck up. It's college basketball season, baby. I'm ready to go. I don't give a shit. I'm sitting here watching Temple versus Wagner right now. Two mid-major teams going back and forth in overtime. And Temple's up 71-69 right now, but it's been a good game so far. And there's other games. There's been upsets already. Some upsets starting to brew a little bit. And great first day of college basketball.
Yeah, you can see right behind me. I've got my double screens going. Been watching shit on the phone as well. TCU's down 8, 17:49 left to go in the game to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Are we going to have a top 25 upset already? I mean, I know they weren't in the top 25, but Florida State already loses to Stetson. Peyton, there's no other word to describe it but madness. We are in November, and it's madness.
Yeah, right now Creighton's only up at halftime 40-35 against St. Thomas, Minnesota. UNC is getting beat by UNC Williamson. It's still second, like 16 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, I got it right behind me. They're down 8-7 with 15:35 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, man, it's madness, and we're not even in March yet. What the hell?
It is. And then you got teams like Bryant putting 147 up on the blind and deaf school. I mean, what the hell's going on? It's night one, baby.
It's night one, man. I can't wait.
It's craziness, but I know you feel the same way. We're thankful that college basketball is back. This is going to be kind of a recurring theme throughout the year. We told you we're expanding our coverage and production this year, along with us being at live games across the country. We will bring you, not nightly, but probably at least once a week. Definitely after big game nights, we'll be live here on the YouTube channel, just kind of chatting about what we've seen and what's yet to come. And Peyton, let's go ahead and start. We have pretty much all the top 25. It's either already played, the early games, or playing now or within the next hour about to tip off. It's not often that you get just about every top 25 team playing on the exact same night.
No, not at all. I think actually every top 25 team plays tonight. There might be one that plays tomorrow that doesn't play tonight, but I'm almost positive 24 out of the 25 teams in the top 25 is playing tonight. Either they've already played, they're playing right now, or they're playing later here within an hour or two. So I tell you what, we talked about it on the podcast, and I didn't mention Rob Dowser, and even though I was making fun of him, I sort of do agree with him in a way that college basketball is better when the Champions Classic is opening night one. Just because you get a major, you get, like I said on the podcast, you get 4 high-level elite programs in the same building for one night to start off college basketball. I mean, you can't start it off better than that. So hopefully within a couple years, whether it's next year or whatever, next year when college basketball opens up, hopefully the Champions Classic is opening the college basketball up. But either way, we got madness already.
Well, it's crazy that of the 100, and I think I've seen where I think it was Ken Pomeroy actually tweeted just a little bit ago that at this moment there's 131 college basketball games taking place between men and women's across the country, which is probably going to be the peak the whole entire year because everything's going to level out a little bit. But it's a lot of games for no top 25 action, top 25 teams playing each other.
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know if it was Dowser or someone else, but he even said it. There was like 100 men's college basketball games or something like that, or just college basketball games in general today, and there is no top 50 matchups being played at all this in night one. So that says something, but it's still been crazy, and I can't wait.
Whoops.
What?
I did not mean... Oh, it's just through my ears. Stupid video playing on ESPN. I didn't know. Kind of startled me a little bit, but... Peyton, let's start with the coverage. We're going to start with my team, the number 4 ranked Kentucky Wildcats in both the AP and the ECB top 25 preseason poll. They opened the season up tonight, Rupp Arena. No Oscar Sheboy, no Damian Collins, no Xavier Wheeler, and no problem for the Cats. Struggled a little bit for about half of the first half. Finally started hitting the groove of things, ended up pulling away and blowing Howard out 95-63. Howard hit some shots late in the last 2 minutes to make this closer. It could have been closer to a 40-point victory. The Cats were, I think, a 26-point favorite, and they by far covered. Jacob Toppin, first career double-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds. CJ Frederick and Antonio Reeves, 20 and 22 points respectively, combined for 42 points. Frederick went 2 of 5 from 3, while Antonio Reeves 6 of 12. The Cats hit 11 3-point shots, go 11 of 24, shot a crazy 45.8% from the 3-point line. And the best thing about this is 39% of their field goals came from the 3-point line, which shows some evolution of the offense that we've been starving for. And why wouldn't you open the offense up when you have guys like CJ Frederick and Antonio Reeves who can dead-eye snipers from 3? It was so fun watching those dudes. Finally, when they missed the first couple, when they finally started finding the rhythm, and watching those two dudes let it fly and then dribble drive. I mean, both of them, great shot fakes, got Howard defenders jumping all around the place. One dribble pull-ups, one dribble, swing the ball to the other guy. I mean, that was a lot of fun when those two dudes got rolling.
Yeah, Howard started the game with a lead. They went up 3-2 within the first 2 minutes, and then Kentucky settled down and went on a big run themselves. And after Kentucky went on that run, it was all she wrote for them. From Howard. You mentioned CJ Frederick and Antonio Reeves. Those two guys on the floor together is just completely unfair for any team in college basketball. It doesn't matter how good you are defensively. If those two, especially if both of them is hitting shots like they did tonight. You mentioned Antonio Reeves, 6 of 12 from the 3-point line. CJ Frederick went 2 of 5 himself. That's just incredible. As both of those guys are hitting threes like that. Then we said it. Well, I mentioned it on our ECB preseason top 25 podcast episode that we did. That if Kentucky wants to make a Final Four run this year, if they want to hang banner number 9, then they're going to have to hit 3-point shots. And boy, oh boy, did they ever in this game. 11 from 24 from 3. Are you shitting me?
45%. Basically, you round up 46% from 3, and it's incredible. Will they shoot that every night? Probably not. But those two dudes can definitely stretch the floor and combine for 8 threes roughly a night. You got some good production. Kason Wallace played point guard for the entirety of the game that he was on the floor. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. He flirted with a triple-double in his first ever college game. He was tremendous. Only 2 turnovers, 9 assists to 2 turnovers. You'll take that ratio all day, every day from your starting point guard. You got some nice production from Chris Livingston, 9 points, 4 rebounds. I thought he was active, diving on loose balls, gave the energy and effort that I know you're expecting and hoping from this Louisville team on Wednesday night. And the guy who really, really shined to me tonight was Ugonna Kingsley Onyesu. Only if the stat line is all you looked at, you would think, well, why is he impressive? 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks. Okay, not bad. But it is how he changed the course of the game when he came off the bench and came in the spell Lance Ware. He was blocking shots at the rim, was changing other shots, was running the floor rim to rim, looking to get post position. He was a good screener. He has soft hands. I mean, this dude was super impressive. And again, if you only looked at the stat line, you would think, oh, well, the 4 blocks are impressive, but 4 rebounds at his size, 6 points. But you got to watch the entirety of the game. The dude was mega impressive tonight.
Well, yeah, I mentioned in the game thread that he's like a hybrid between Daniel Orton and fucking Nerlens Noel. He's not as big as Daniel Orton was, especially when he was in college, and then when he got bigger, when he went to the NBA for those couple of years. But he does remind me a lot of Nerlens Noel because both guys were very lengthy. Athleticism was off the charts for both guys, and they can block shots. If they wasn't blocking shots, they was deflecting it or just making them nervous when it comes down to getting into the paint, and it's shown that he's going to be playing big minutes probably this year. I think it actually helped him in the long run that Oscar did not play, because it allowed Kingsley to get a lot more minutes and be a lot more comfortable in the Kentucky system under Coach Calipari and get the minutes that he needs. I think he's going to play a pivotal role coming off the bench when either if Oscar's getting foul trouble or just help relieve the pressure from Oscar's big-ass shoulders that he has. Talking about Oscar, though, you can tell, especially early on in the game, pretty much the whole game when I was watching, you can tell that Kentucky needs him, especially on the glass, and how important he is on the glass, because the first half, Kentucky, they won the rebounding battle total. They had 42 total rebounds compared to Howard's 37. They only won the rebounding battle by 5. That's still good that you won it, but you gave up 13 offensive boards and you only got 10 yourself. If Oscar's on the floor, that shit don't happen at all.
No,
Oscar
not at all.
would clean up the glass both offensively and defensively, and it stops Howard from getting those second chance opportunities that eventually they got, especially in the first half.
Well, and it's not all rainbow and sunshines. There's definitely stuff that Kentucky needs to clean up before Friday against Duquesne, and definitely before next Tuesday with Michigan State in the Champions Classic. You can't give up that many offensive rebounds. That was just positioning, guys jumping for balls instead of getting positioning and going for one-handed rebounds. I mean, Lance Ware got jerked early in the first half because he was kept tipping a ball instead of going up two hands strong. Got to clean that up. Some of the offensive timing early on, it didn't look real fluid, got late in the shot clock. Definitely some stuff to clean up, but it is only game one. Cats cover, eventually look good, and it's a good sign without 3 of your key guys, especially the reigning defending National Player of the Year, Oscar Tshiebwe. You start getting those guys back, get Severe to run the point guard, and really opens this floor up. I think Kentucky is going to be all right. Peyton, let's go to another top 25 team, actually a top 10 team. One of the teams people loved in the Big 12, consensus with them in Kansas to win the Big 12 and a potential national title contender. They opened up the college basketball season this year, played an early afternoon game, which is kind of awkward because you don't see those unless it's like holiday weekends, like Thanksgiving or Christmas when people are out of school or out of work. But Baylor opened up the season, blowing out Mississippi Valley State. I know I was at my day job. You got a chance to watch this in its entirety. Put up 117. I don't care the opposition, like you said. That's still super impressive. What'd you see out of Baylor today?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're playing a mid-major, low-major, if you're playing the powers of like Kansas or Texas. Like, to put up 117 points, especially on night one, is just extremely impressive. And Baylor showed why they, in my opinion, have the best backcourt in the country. Keontae George is a freshman. He came on and had 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He was flirting with the triple-double. He did have 3 fouls, so they're going to have to clean that up before they start playing the powerhouses that they got coming up here soon. LJ Cryer, 16 points, 5 of 11 from the field. He had 3 three-pointers. If he can continue to stroke like that, then watch out for Baylor, especially him, because he could have another breakout year this season. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist, though. Adam Flagler was the star of the show. Like we probably all knew he was going to be. 21 points, 6 of the 9 from the field, 4 of 6 from the three-point line, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds. He had 8 assists as well. So not only was he getting buckets, he was dropping out dimes. Caleb Lona came off the bench and impressed me a lot. He had 7 points, 2 of 4 from the field. He had 5 rebounds though, but he had a couple of big time monstrous dunks, and this kid is sneakily athletic. I imagine he's going to get about 10 plus points coming off the bench, and he's going to be a key factor for Scott Drew this season. Really liked his game. He definitely does have a punchable face, though. I'm just going to put it like that. So, they had 6 guys who scored in double digits, including, like I said, with Flagler being the only 20-digit scorer. Baylor's just really fucking good. They got the best backcourt in the country. They shot 41% from the three-point line. 14 out of 34 attempts, they hit 14 threes. My God, this team's nasty.
Yeah, Scott Drew, I think we all learned a long time ago to stop doubting him. And especially when you give him super talented kids like Keontae George, Adam Flagler's back. Baylor looks poised for another massive run to the NCAA title, or at least the Final Four. I think it's going to take something crazy to happen. Peyton, real quick, breaking away from top 25, just real quick, how about this for the feel-good story of the night, maybe the season, at least especially early on? Keontae Johnson, we all remember the former Florida star, had the unfortunate heart issue. You had to sit out, didn't get to play last year for the Gators, got cleared to play, transferred to Kansas State, just scored about 12, 15 minutes ago, scored his first points since December of 2020. How about that for the feel-good story of the night?
Hell yeah, man. Hopefully he has a good season this year and really bounce back from that heart injury. So good for him, man. That's cool.
Let's stay in our Hoosier state for all of our Indiana people out there. IU. First of all, it was a pain in the ass trying to find the game. It says it was on Big Ten Plus, but I couldn't find it and gave up. So I just started watching the game through live feeds and stuff like that. But it looked like a struggle against Morehead State for a long stretch of the game. Morehead State, I know at one point went on 8-0 run to take the lead. I think it was 17-15 or the likes of. Hung close in the first half. It was only 41-29 Hoosiers' advantage. But Indiana does what they do. They put the clamps on defensively, outscored them 47-24 in the second half to win 88-53 in a comfortable 35-point victory margin. Hoosiers, Peyton, Trace Jackson Davis, the preseason All-American, 15 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 of 5 from the foul line, 6-11, took no three-point shots. So, again, I want to see him start taking some of these. Make or miss, I want to see him take some. Miller Kopp, 8, Race Thompson, 9. He hit 1 3. The Hoosiers starting 5. They only took 5 3-point attempts. Miller Kopp was 2 of 2. Race Thompson 1 of 3. The backcourt took no threes. Jalen Hood-Schifino and Xavier Johnson combined for no threes. Indiana only went 4 of 11 on the night from the 3-point line. They got 15 points from star freshman Malik Renault off the bench. 15 points, 5 boards. Looks like they had 10 points from Jordan Geronimo off the bench, 9 from Tamar Bates, which is nice to see. He played 23 minutes. He actually got starters minutes. He played more than Xavier Johnson. So what do we make of IU? Comfortable win, a shaky start, clamps defensively, held another team under 60 points, scored 88, which is tremendous. If you're going to score 88 and don't have to take a bunch of threes, then you can take that every single night. If they score 88 every night, they're probably going to win a hell of a lot more than they lose. But is that because coach knows that they can't shoot and he doesn't want them shooting? Or what's going on? Only 4 of 11, only 11 3-point attempts.
Well, I guess if you want to shoot a high percentage from 3, I guess you got to shoot less attempts from 3 or just not shoot them as much. That's really not even the surprising stat for me. The most surprising stat, which was a big fault for them for the last 5 years, and it's going to continue if they don't get better, is free throw shooting. They shot 57% from the free throw line, 12 of 21. You won by a lot of fucking points, but you can't hit free throws, it seems like. That's something that you're going to need to work on. It's fine now because, like I said, you got away with it because you won by a large margin. But when you start playing teams like Michigan State, when you start getting into the Big Ten ACC Challenge against North Carolina, if you're not hitting free throws, you're going to get exposed. I don't care how many threes you hit. It's simple fundamentals that seems to lack Indiana under the last 5 years. It doesn't matter who's coaching. So that's something they're going to have to majorly fix very, very quickly before they play North Carolina on December 1st.
They turned Morehead State over 21 times, held them to 37% from the field, 30% from 3.
Real quick. Another stat that I just seen that kind of surprised me because I thought they would dominate the stat as rebounding. They only won by, like Kentucky only won by 5.
They won plus 5.
They plus 5 on the rebounding. 30 rebounds only? That's not bad, but it's also not really good either. I expected TJD to get more rebounds because he's a good rebounder. Race Thompson, all those guys, I expect them to get a lot more rebounds than only 30. And the fact that you only got 30 rebounds, was a +5 on the rebounding margin. I feel like that's a question for concern too.
Well, and they got out rebounded on the offensive glass 7-6.
Yeah.
Much or a little bit better defensively, but I guess again, it's one game. You don't want to overreact. They did still win by 35 points, so you got to keep that in mind. But the fact that they didn't take a lot of threes, didn't make a whole lot. I mean, 36%. That's good. They can live with 36%. Free throw shooting still really, really bad. Good production all around. Everybody that played except for Anthony Leal and Childers scored, which is great. They got a lot of rotation guys in, all that good stuff. But after one game, just looking stats based and all that, it looks like IU still defensively first, really solid. Going to be a great defensive side. But offensively, again, they scored 88 points. So I'm trying not to overreact. But man, do we still have to see more from IU offensively?
Yes. On the bright side, if you want to take like a pros and cons list, yes, they only got 30 rebounds. Yes, they only shot the ball 4-11. They only shot 3-pointers 11 times. Yes, they shot poorly from the free throw line, but like you mentioned, they won by 35 points. A major key, though, that I am looking at right now, 52 points in the paint. They dominated the points in the paint by a huge margin. They had 52. Morehead State only had 18. That's an incredible stat. Fast break points, they had 16 fast break points as well. So if they're not going to shoot the ball well from three, if they're not going to shoot it a lot, if you're going to be an inside team, then that's definitely a key that people need to look out for. 52 points in the paint, that's ridiculous.
Well, they're not going to be tested in their next one, but in a couple weeks, a week or two's time, they do go on the road to Xavier, which we're going to find out a lot about them then. Let's go around the rest of the top 25, some other action. Number 3, Houston, currently with about 5 minutes to go in the game's up 67-30 over Northern Colorado. Marcus Sasser, 21 points. Peyton, we know Houston's going to be good. And yep. I mean, no offense to Northern Colorado, but so Houston's rolling. About 6 minutes left to go in the game. The Jayhawks of Kansas up 81-55 over Omaha. It looks like Jalen Wilson with a double-double leading the way. Hey, he's got a chance of triple-double. He needs 4 more assists, 19 points, 11 boards, 6 assists. Anything you want to say on the Kansas real quick?
I didn't really pay too much attention to the game because I was doing some other stuff, but I like how Pettiford came off the bench and has 13 points right now, 6 of the 7 from the field. I like to see that assist. He only has 2 assists though, but I like to see that go up more. So he has 2 steals as well. So it looks like hopefully Jalen Wilson will get this double-double. Grady Dick though, 21 points. This kid's gonna be a stud.
Yeah, and how about the Arkansas Razorbacks? Currently, I mean, they're only up 13. They are starting to pull away a little bit now from North Dakota State. That's been a tight one all throughout. 6:43 left to go in the game. Ricky Counts the 4th from Arkansas, 19 points. No Nick Smith Jr. tonight. He was out with a knee injury. Cause for concern potentially for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, it definitely could be. I'm not sure what the severity of his injury is or when he'll be back. Hopefully soon. But, yeah, at least they got a big window. You want to talk about ways of concern. Under 15 minutes left in the second half, Creighton's only up 1 on St. Thomas, 47-46. They are shooting 5 of 21 from the three-point line.
It just updated. Arthur Kaluma just made a jumper. It's 49-46.
49-46, yeah.
No offense to St. Thomas, Minnesota, and I've beat the drum of this Creighton team. And again, it's game number 1. But if you're a team that I'm pegging to go to the Final Four potentially, yeah, you got to put away St. Thomas. You got to pull away here.
24% from the three-point line, 5 of 21 from deep. That has got to change, or they're on upset alert.
Yeah, Arthur Kaluma leading the way with 13.7 boards. Number 20, Alabama, currently at halftime, up on Longwood, 34-26. This is a very sneaky game. Longwood, do not be shocked if they don't hang around this entire game. The Lancers made the tournament last year for the first time in school history, returned damn near everybody. I'm trying to pull my notes up because I was responsible for them. Returned damn near everybody. I'm telling you now, this is a tough matchup for Nate Oates' side, and it's showing through the first half.
Yeah, most definitely. They're gonna have to. I just seen I don't know who it was, but people talking about how they're a potential Final Four contenders that they can put it all together.
Who,
So
Alabama?
yeah,
I was gonna say not Longwood, surely.
no, fuck no, come on now, hell
So
no.
Longwood, yeah, returned 58.5 points per game from last season. Four starters back. They won 26 games, made the tournament like I mentioned, and then most of the key guys except for Justin Hill back, which, like I said, four starters back. This is an experienced team. They knew how to make the deep run and win games last year. Alabama's up 8. Got a little cushion, but they're going to have to come out and play the second half because this team's not going to go away. This could be I'm telling you, if this goes to the under 3-minute mark, and it's within a possession or two, oh, Alabama might be on upset alert.
Well, you remember last year they would play teams like Gonzaga and who were at Kentucky, and they would look really fucking good, and they'll play a team like Iona, no offense to Patino and Iona, and end up getting beat. So maybe it's the same recipe like it was last year heading into this year. How about Villanova and Cal Neptune's first game? An impressive victory, 81-68 over LaSalle. Josh Nickelberry for LaSalle, former Louisville Cardinal, had 22 points, 6 rebounds, so it's cool seeing him getting buckets. Without Kane Whitmore, by the way, Caleb Daniels led him in scoring with 24 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He had a double-double. 6 of 7 from the three-point line. He only missed 1 3. He was lights out in this game.
And remember when we did the podcast yesterday, I mentioned that this could be an interesting game. LaSalle kept it close for bits of time, and they actually outscored Villanova by 1 in the second half. Yep. But guys, experienced guys that you'd expect, the Villanova culture, Caleb Daniels comes through clutch. That could be a very pivotal win to start the year for Villanova without a guy like Cam Whitmore to kind of establish who their identity is under new head coach Kyle Neptune. So good win for Villanova. Number 22, Michigan puts it on IPFW 75-56. Hunter Dickinson, 22 points, 12 boards. If I'm not mistaken, he had 22 and 10 like early in the second half.
Yeah, if you listen to the podcast on Sunday, I mentioned that a game for a potential upset watch. I wasn't predicting it, but with the guys that Purdue Fort Wayne had coming back, they won the Horizon, and they're my favorites to win the Horizon once again this season. Just Hunter Dickens was just too much. This dude's a beast, and he showed why he's a top 5, top 10 player in the country.
Absolutely. Number 7, Duke. Phil was there for the first half. They struggled for a good portion of that first half before pulling away to go to up 16 at half. And then not the greatest second half, but they were able to outscore Jacksonville again, win 71-44, relatively comfortable. Jeremy Roach, incredible game
Lights
for him.
Out.
16 points, 6 boards, 4 assists. This is all without Derek Lively and Dark Whitehead. We still mentioned it about Duke. A lot of questions need to be answered, but this was a gimme against Jacksonville. Jeremy Roach, though, you need him to be tremendous all year long.
Yeah, I mentioned in the podcast how I'm not sold on him having an All-American type season this year. He came out night one, had a big game. You mentioned it, 16 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 4 of 7 for the three-point line, which I also mentioned on the podcast that he's not the greatest three-point shooter. He went out and shot 4 of 7 from the three-point line, but we'll see how he does when they play tougher competition coming up here soon. We'll see if he can be that type of player because, like you said, they're going to have to because Tyrese Proctor, his first college game, played 25 minutes, 2 points, and that came from free throws. He missed every single shot.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how much that's got to do with nerves and all that. So we'll see. Again, no overreactions to night one. I mean, unless you're Florida State and losing to Stetson. I mean, that's pretty bad. But,
I am surprised that Shire started Proctor and Jeremy Roach. I thought that Proctor would come off the bench and Grandison would start the two, but it seemed
why to give more experience.
Yeah, it seemed that he just wanted to go kind of like the offense defense I was talking about Sunday.
Yeah, Filipkowski, 10 points, hit 2 threes, did have 12 rebounds, so right there on the freshman's behalf as far as getting in, being active when your shot's not necessarily falling. Yeah, I mean, I think he probably wanted Proctor in there for just his overall talent. Grandison's a guy that's comfortable coming off the bench, although he didn't really play well at all. 2 points, 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. I mean, I know he was there, made some good defensive plays and all that, contributed with 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So you don't want to say he didn't do nothing. But they need him to be a scorer. They need him to be a guy that can be experienced, knock the 3 ball down, give good offensive minutes, and he didn't really find his groove tonight. I still want to see this Duke, how they're going to be. I'm over the ESPN, like where these random ads play all of a sudden. I mean, good Lord, it scares the shit out of me. But, Grandison, they need him to be a scorer, but I do want to see Duke with Lively and Whitehead and how they look there.
Going to a team that's in the ACC who I think will give North Carolina a run for the money this year and potentially could be a Final Four team is Virginia. They're up 31-21 right now. Oh, sorry, I just updated 31-22 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Allman Franklin, the first half, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 or 4 from the 3-point line. I mentioned it on the podcast, and I mentioned it in if you bought our magazine and you read my article or you read my write-up on Virginia. If Allman Franklin's even somewhat of the player that he was at Indiana his last year when he was shooting about 40% from 3, then Virginia is national championship contenders without a doubt. So if he can continue to hit some shots like he's doing now, Jaden Gardner doesn't have a single point, but he has 5 boards. That's going to change. I imagine he might get close to a double-double. Virginia should win comfortably, even though it's close. That defense, stifling.
Number 11, Tennessee rolls 75-43 over Tennessee Tech. Again, another interesting game in the first half. The Vol is only 27 points. Tennessee Tech 16 at half. They explode for 48 in the second half. We know how dangerous Tennessee is. Tyreek Key, the transfer from Indiana State, 17 points, 4 boards, 1 assist to lead the way for the Volunteers. Peyton, I think this might have been the case of opening night jitters for Tennessee, but once they found their footing in the second half, there was no turning back. We know the ceiling for Tennessee. If all cylinders fire off, this is a Final Four team.
Yeah, without a doubt. They got one, in my eyes, the top 3, top 5 backcourts in the country. And Zakai Ziegler and Santiago Fuscovi. So, I mean, they'll be fine. They end up bouncing back, though.
How about another title favorite? Number 2, Gonzaga. Still 2:57 left to play in the first half. 48-21 over North Florida. Drew Timme already 16 points, 1 board, which is a little bit surprising, 1 assist. Gonzaga, I mean, North Florida wasn't going to be competition. We know this. And we know they play a really tough non-con. This ain't one of them. But the fact that they've...
Yeah. I think they'll be fine. North Carolina, another title favorite. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. They're currently up 27-19 against UNC Williamson.
Yeah, I've got it right behind me. UNC Wilmington's got the ball.
Yeah, Caleb Love has 2 turnovers right now. They're going to have to take care of the ball. North Carolina's not hitting shots. They're 2 of 7 from the 3-point line, shooting under 30%. UNC Wilmington's 20% from the 3-point line. They're 1 of 5. North Carolina's got to get their shit together if they want to be a national title contender and show everybody why they deserve that number 1 seed. Like you said, maybe it's with Tennessee, maybe it's like first game jitters. But then again, they got a lot of experienced players. You wouldn't think that'd be the case when it comes to North Carolina.
Man, I am seriously over these ESPN ads. I've got them muted and everything. They'll just randomly pop up. I don't know how to make them stop. This is annoying as hell. But no, North Carolina just made a bucket. They're up 10. UNC Wilmington's got the ball running a side screen. Good defense. Baycott just got away with a foul trying to jump a pass in the passing lane. But, I think it's opening night jitters, right? You're got all this pressure on you. You're a favorite to win the title and cut the nets down. And you're playing at home. You know, I would expect a better second half from Carolina.
You would think. I mean, you would think so, especially with all the experienced players that they have. They bring back 4 of their 5 starters from last year's team. So we'll see. I like to see how that bench play does, though. They got 0 bench play points, and that was a huge factor last year and why they were struggling most of the regular season, almost didn't make the tournament. So we'll see how they do.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. UNC Wilmington just scored a bucket, so it's 29-21 with 1:11 left to play in the first half. Again, if you want to pull the upset, you just got to keep these games close. Speaking of close, this is going down the wire. Arkansas Pine Bluff down 64-63 with 5:30 to go, and they've got the ball. Could we see a top 25 upset on night one?
Oh man, it's going to be close. We'll see. I'm about to turn that game up here soon because this Memphis Vanderbilt game was like 4 minutes ago, and Memphis is up 16 points right now. So I'm
Let
probably
me
going to
ask
turn it
you
over.
something. We say not to overreact to night one, right? Or even the first couple games. Try not to overreact. But if you're a team like TCU, you've never been ranked this high in the preseason. You have
No.
these lofty expectations. You have a potential All-American and Mike Miles on your team, one of the best guards in the country. Do you feel like if they end up losing this game and choking it to Arkansas Pine Bluff, do you feel like they felt the pressure of that ranking beside their name?
Yes, 100%. I mean, I don't think there's any other way you can put it than there's just too much pressure. They're not used to this. Mike Miles is getting a lot of hype coming into this year. Hell, he was the ECB preseason favorite to win the Big 12 preseason Player of the Year this season. So I'm sure he's probably feeling the pressure right now. How much minutes is left in that game, real quick?
Arkansas Pine Bluff just scored to take the lead 65-64 with 5:10 to go. 3 in the corner from TCU, off the iron, Arkansas Pine Bluff ball. I mean, this is going down to the wire, baby.
I like to think that Jamie Dixon is going to be smart and give the ball to Mike Miles and let him take over this remaining like 6 minutes or 5 minutes, however much time's left.
450.
If not, then TCU could definitely take this upset and be the first top 25 team to lose in night one. But I'd like to think that Jamie Dixon is smart enough to just tell everyone to just get the fuck out of the way, give the ball to Mike Miles and let him go, damn it.
Well, here we go. I mean, and both are in the bonus. TCU just missed, got a big time offensive rebound. TCU's back in the lead, 66-65 with 4:20 left to play. I mean, this is going down the wire, Peyton. This feels like it should be a March game right now.
Yeah, man, it definitely should. Well, in night one, it already have like upsets and shit. That's on the horizon, so. Damn.
Emmanuel Miller, he's the one that got the putback. 19 points on 8 of 12 from the field. Man, I can't believe college basketball is back. What a crazy time period right now.
Yes, sir. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Night one, holy hell.
Oh man, this is insanity. I'm trying to stay alive here with this while this is going on, and we'll get our live reaction here. But I know this is going to, because we still got one more media timeout left to go. So
I'll tell you what, one guy that's pretty much carrying Arkansas Pine Bluff on his back is Doss. Played 35 minutes. He has 25 fucking points, 5 rebounds, 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 5 from the three-point line. He is putting his team on his back right now.
Yeah, we got a couple of those finals, or a couple of those games that we were talking about just a few minutes ago. Within the next 2 minutes, will go final. Kansas has stretched their lead to 87-64, so the Jayhawks will climb back to 4 wins ahead of Kentucky in the all-time wins race. Kentucky had temporarily cut it down to 3. So Kansas handling business as the reigning champs. Houston, with 1:42, is now up 77-36. I think the question here on out is, can they hold Northern Colorado under 40 points?
Maybe. Maybe. Talking about holding teams to like under 50 points right now, like I said with Memphis, they're up 67-49 with 3 minutes, 26 seconds to go. Jordan Wright has 3 points.
That's super disappointing because I just got on here yesterday on the podcast and talked about how good I thought Vandy was. Maybe we didn't give enough credit to Memphis and Penny Hardaway because that team is older, especially adding a guy like Kendrick Davis, their experience. And I don't think we accounted for how good Jaden Hardaway was going to be. He had a stretch in the first half of that game where he hits a pull-up jump shot. He goes down, contributes to getting a steal because Memphis's half-court defense was so swarming, comes down in transition, buries a 3, leads to a Vandy timeout. I mean, can he have the type of season that catapults him into some sort of national relevancy like his old man did?
Maybe. I think he's going to have to be a big component for this year's Memphis team. But Kendrick Davis, I mean, he has 14 points. He has, I think, 4 was, where'd it go? Where'd my stats go? Damn it, what the hell? 14 points, 4 of 10 from the field, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He has this decent game going on so far, but he really wasn't the star of the show. Williams, 15 points. He's been 4 rebounds, 6 of 10 from the field. He's been Memphis's best player on both sides of the floor.
We've got 9. You're talking about upset alerts. 9:20 left to go in the game. Creighton 59, University of St. Thomas, Minnesota 57. Please tell me that this team that I have hyped up as a potential Final Four borderline national championship team in the Creighton Blue Jays is going to have one of the worst upset losses in college basketball history.
If they do, we got to get a hold of our boys, Road to the Garden, and have them on the show this week so we can talk about it, see what the fuck they think, because there's no way that we hyped them up this year and they're just going to shit the bed in night one. My God, bro. I'm turning this game on right now. I've had enough.
Look at the stars, right? We spent all offseason talking about Baylor Shireman, 5 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Ryan Kalkbrenner, 6 points, 6 boards. Ryan Nimhart, 5 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. You got Trey Alexander, nice little night, 12 points, 2 boards, and then Arthur Kaluma leading the way with 13 points, 7 rebounds. Peyton, where is the production from the stars? Baylor Shireman's coming over to expect to score 20 a night. Yeah. He's got 5 points.
How many threes has he hit? I ain't even pulled up the stats yet. Sure, I'll pull it up right now. Let me see. If he's not, because
he can't have many. He's only got 5 points.
Yeah, well, that's true. Maybe 1. Ooh, that's probably it.
Creighton 6 of 25 from the 3-point line, 24%.
Oh my God, he was shooting. Baylor Shireman himself last year for South Dakota State was shooting 47% from the 3-point line.
Look at St. Thomas. 7 of 12 from 3, 58%, and 75% from the free throw line, although they've only went 3 or 4, and they're 50% from the field. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you pull an upset.
Yeah.
Just 100%. Shoot like – plus they're out rebounding Creighton. 28-27. More assists, 8 to 7. Idle and steals, they've got way more turnovers, 10 to 3, and they've had more fouls than Creighton, 11 to 6. But, I mean, they're in this ball game. Creighton's got to go on some type of run here. Things are going to get real butthole puckery.
Yeah. I'm getting upset right now because I can't find this damn game. YouTube TV needs to hurry the hell up. I don't want to watch Illinois beat the shit out of Eastern Illinois. I want to watch Creighton win.
Speaking of which, Illinois is up 36-23 over Eastern Illinois. I'd imagine they pull away. Number 25, Texas Tech's up 34-20 on Northwestern State. Arizona just tipped off a little bit ago. They are up 19-4 on Nicholls State. We still got 3 ranked teams on the West Coast remaining to tip off. Waiting on here in a few minutes for number 21 Oregon to tip off against Florida A&M. Number 19 San Diego State to tip off against Cal State Fullerton. And then at 11:30, damn West Coast time, number 8 UCLA to tip off against Sacramento State. I mean, I would say you'd imagine easy wins for the ranked teams, but the way tonight's going, you have no idea.
Yeah, nobody's safe tonight. Everybody's on the potential to get upset. So,
Alabama stretched their lead early in the second half. First media timeout, second half. They're up 42-27. So it looks like they're starting to put some distance between them and Longwood.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting their shit together. They probably heard us talking shit about them. It's like, fuck it, we got to step up, boys.
Gonzaga's up 53-23 at half. This TCU game's going down the wire. Arkansas Pine Bluff's up 60. They made a bucket. They're up 2 scores.
Oh God, I need to go to B-Dubs. I need to go to B-Dubs. I need more screens. I can't even find this damn Creighton game.
I just knocked my headset off. 70-66 with 1:40 to go. We're gonna stay live here. We're not gonna end this stream until this game's over.
I'm pulling TCU up. I can't find this damn Creighton game.
TCU, good defense, but Pine Bluff, they called a bullshit foul, bailed them out. I don't think that was a foul.
Nope.
I think they bailed them out. Looks like North Carolina's at the half, 32-21, leading UNC Wilmington. Armando Bacot 8 points.
Jeez.
Man, we got to stay live, see if TCU gets upset or not. This is wild.
Yeah, we're staying on air. First time ever doing this. We got to stay on live on air. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, this is insanity, bro. First free throw up at the line. It's good. They're down 3 now. It's going to be interesting to see how TCU plays this out here. You can kind of see the screen. I actually can see the screen right behind me. See if I can watch it like this. Next free throw. Oh, rattles off the rim and in. 2-point game with 1:29 to go. If you're Arkansas Pine Bluff, You've been great attacking the rim tonight. I know you want to try to burn some clock, but you don't want to wait too late and put yourself out of rhythms. How are you playing this final couple possessions?
Who is that again? Sorry, I'm trying to find these damn games. I'm like, it's madness.
I was just asking if you were the head coach of Arkansas Pine Bluff, how do you play these last couple possessions?
Keep the ball in Mike Miles' hands, stay home in him, and just make someone else beat you.
Well, they just drove to the rim after bleeding the clock down, got a shot blocked. It's their ball with 2.2 to go inbound it. This is probably the biggest play of the game so far for TCU. They got to get a stop here.
Yeah, without a doubt. I finally found this Creighton game. Creighton's up 66-57 with close to 4 minutes to go in the second half.
They got to stop. Transition 3. TCU hits it. They're up 1 with 51.8 to go. They got to stop. Bust at a transition 3.
I am a little bit ahead of you, so I'm at 35 seconds right now on my game.
Oh, yeah, I'm at 42, so yeah, you are ahead of me.
Wow.
We'll go ahead and take us home. It was Mike Miles that buried the 3, the star man we were talking about.
Well, Arkansas goes for a shot. Oh, he misses it. TCU gets the rebound, and looks like they foul. I don't have they looks like they foul. TCU up 71-70 with 20.2 seconds to go. I don't know if they're in the bonus or not, so we'll see if they go to the free throw line.
I'm at 20.2 as well.
Yeah, we'll see if they go to the free throw line, see if they can knock these 2 free throws down.
Man, regardless, this has got to be a wake-up call for TCU here.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Maybe this is something they needed. Maybe they needed a game like this. They were like, hey, everybody's expecting a lot of us this year. If we're not playing up to par, especially when we get to the conference play, and we start playing like this, then teams like Baylor, Kansas, Texas Tech, and all these other Big 12 teams are going to beat the shit out of us. So maybe they needed a game like this to really get motivated for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and that goes to show night in, night out with college basketball. You can't take anybody lightly anymore.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, there's really not a whole lot of thing anymore as a gimme win.
No. I don't know. You got to earn everything. It looks like they reset the shot clock or the clock to 21.8. Yeah, TCU gets the ball in, and Arkansas Pine Bluff fouls.
Yep, you're definitely about 20 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah.
So all good. I'll let you take us home here on this. What a crazy night, though, right? I mean, if you're Florida State and you're Florida State fans, I know there was some optimism. Some people had them predicted to be a top half of the ACC team.
Yeah.
And the good news is you still can be. It's only one game, right? Like, you don't get eliminated for one game. It's not college football. But if you're Florida State fans, with all the expectations or at least hope, maybe not expectations, and you drop a game to a lowly Stetson team night 1, you got to be kind of upset, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's some publications out there that had Florida State finishing high as 3rd in the conference this year for the ACC. And don't get me wrong, I like Caleb Mills, and I think he could be a good player for him this year. But if he's not getting rolling, then they're not as good as anyone think they are. Good pass, and 1. Oh, that should have been a foul. 9.9 seconds to go. TCU's up 73-72. Arkansas Pine Bluff just fouled. 8.5 seconds ago. That almost was a foul.
Yeah, he body bumped him too.
Yeah, that was good penetration though by
body bumped him. But yeah, if you're Florida State, I mean, again, you don't want to overreact. It's a bad night at the office. Not a good win because let me look up KenPom. I'm pretty sure Stetson came in ranked in KenPom at like 313 this week. So definitely not a good look. But it's one game. I mean, you could reel off the next 20 in a row, and all of a sudden you're a 1 seed, and, this game could be forgotten about.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather lose now than lose later when it counts.
Yeah. We'll take a look at Florida State's schedule. Yeah, 314 for Stetson. And on the flip side, if you're head coach Donnie Jones, ball
game. TCU wins 73-72.
Oh, I'm right here right now. He over dribbled.
Yeah, got in no man's land.
Arkansas Pine Bluff over dribbled. TCU survives the upset bid. But if you're Stetson, man, you got to feel great because you were predicted to lose this game 81-60, not to get your first win till literally February 2nd.
Yeah.
They don't have them predicted to win till North Alabama on February 2nd. They only are predicted to win 2 games, it looks like. No, I'm sorry, 4 games. 4 games, it looks like, and 2 of them against schools that aren't Division I. So Florida State, on the flip side, who's their upcoming schedule? They got UCF. They predicted to lose that one. Troy, which isn't going to be easy. Florida, Mercer, Siena, Purdue, Virginia, Louisville, USC Upstate, St. John's, Notre Dame, and Duke. That's how they round out the year 2022 before the start of 2023. Man, you lost pretty much a gimme game. UCF's not going to be easy.
Hell no.
Man, we could be looking at this Florida State team heading into 2023 with maybe like 5 or 6 losses already.
It's potentially, Leonard Hamilton has not had the best couple of last years. It's been extremely disappointing, and that's weird to say because he's one of the best, brightest coaches in the game today. Not a good way to start the season, 0-1 to a terrible, low-level Stetson team. Not a good look, but like we said, it's better to lose now than lose later when it counts. And starting 0-1, you can always win the rest of your games and be a 1 seed and potentially make the Final Four or some shit like that. So it's not the end of the world.
No, it is not. But the end is that we have ran to the end of this live stream. We went about 20 minutes longer than we expected. We'd like to try to keep these between 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes tops. But that TCU game kind of held us over. We will continue to do these throughout the year. There will be multiples of them. We will let you guys know ahead of time. We will get better as we figure out our routine and kind of what we're doing. As we go along the season, we will have guests pop in and out. It is night 1, though, man. We had to do an extra episode for night 1. Lots of craziness going on. Still games being played and still a couple West Coast games for the nutheads who are going to stick up like me to watch most of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed night 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Whether you're following along with us live or you go back and retro and watch us in the days to come. Guys, grateful that you joined us. Grateful that you do watch us whenever you do. And grateful that college basketball is back. So great to have everything back together. Peyton, anything you want to say before we end night 1 here?
Yep. Go buy the magazine at etsy.com/shop/ECB shop 10. It's $10. Go get your magazine. If you like it, tell your friends to get it as well. And if you don't like it, like we said on the podcast, let us know. That way we can work towards being better next year. Still a lot to learn when we're doing this first time ever. So if there's some kinks that you want worked out next year, make sure you let us know. If not, go buy it at etsy.com/shop/ECB shop 10. Go check out our boys, House of College Hoops, everyone there. Beauty to Beast Nutrition, everything pro wrestling. Oh, God, there's so many that I'm probably forgetting. My brain is filled with college basketball this past day. I'm ready to get some sleep because I'm damn sure not watching these damn West Coast games. Because fuck that. Getting ready for tomorrow, so...
Yep, and we will have, again, wall-to-wall coverage tomorrow and every night from now until the next 6 months, until the final whistle blows on the end of college basketball for the 2022-2023 season. But we appreciate you guys hopping in and joining us tonight and watching us whenever you do get a chance to watch it. Again, we will continue to do this throughout the year, and we will get better with time and have more guests and all the fun stuff that goes with it. So, wrapping up night number 1 of a long college basketball season. We are happy it is back. We are happy you're here with us. And we will catch you tomorrow for wall-to-wall coverage of night 2 of everything college basketball. We hope you guys have a good evening, and we will catch you tomorrow.